You're listening to Be the Exception Podcast, episode 168. Today, we are going to be chatting all about how to master special education lesson plans. This episode is going to be your ultimate guide about how to create effective lesson plans for your self-contained classroom. We all know that there are not one size fits all for lesson plans, but don't worry, I have some solutions for you in this episode. We're going to talk about reviewing your standards, your expected lesson plan, how to break it down for all your weekly content to hit those standards for all your subject areas. I'm talking math, science, social studies, language arts, functional, and so much more. So let's go ahead and jump on into today's episode all about special education lesson plans.
Welcome to Be the Exception Podcast. As teachers, each one of us has something that comes naturally to us that others would love to know more about. Throughout this podcast, we'll chat with amazing professionals and offer easily digestible tips that you can quickly implement in your classroom or business, helping you stand out with things you do really well. Your host, Dawn Ellis, is a qualified educational specialist with 10 years of special education experience, published journal articles, and was a state finalist for Elementary Teacher of the Year. Dawn provides tools for special education teachers to perform at their very best, helping deal with the frustrating daily obstacles of being an educator. She offers a roadmap of resources and strategies to make you a confident leader in your school and community. So if you're ready to start the conversation, learn from others, and grow together, you're in the right place. Now here's your host, Dawn Ellis.
Well, hey there, I'm Dawn Ellis, special educator and podcast host, and I'm so glad you are here today to listen to this episode. As we jump into today's episode, I wanted to let you know that there are some brand new special educator resources that have dropped in my TPT shop to help you kick off your year on the right foot. I'm talking lesson plan templates, schedule guides, welcome back packets, back to school night, success kits, as well as sub-plan templates for you to help kick your year off for this back to school season, as well as a lot of different new curriculum ideas that you can quickly implement into your classroom. You can check them all out over on TPT. The store is called Cultivating Exceptional Minds. But also there's a brand new membership that is coming soon designed for special education teachers, both newbies and veteran teachers alike. It's going to launch this month, and I would love for you to be a part. It's going to include monthly trainings, done-for-you content, templates, as well as help you with all your IEP training throughout the year. I'd like to introduce you to the Exceptional Collective. There's going to be a free training coming out this month on how to plan your year out month by month, and I welcome you to come be a part of it. All the information will be in the show notes, as well as over on my website, cultivatingexceptionalminds.com. So make sure and come be a part. So in today's episode, we're going to be diving deep into the world of special education lesson plans. We'll explore more of what they include, how to set them up effectively, and the importance of curriculum mapping, as well as how lesson plan templates can help ensure comprehensive instruction is covered through all the necessary grade levels and standards that so many times special education teachers have to cover. Before we begin, I wanted to mention that today's episode is inspired by two recent blog posts that I have over on my website, cultivatingexceptionalminds.com. So if you need further explanation from what we chat about today, make sure and check those out. I will link them in the show notes, just going into the importance of lesson plans, especially during the season of kind of getting things in order during the back to school season. Special education lesson plans are tailored to meet the diverse needs of students with disabilities, ensuring that they receive appropriate accommodations, modifications, and individualized instruction. So what exactly should these lesson plans include? Well, I'm so glad you asked. First and foremost, special education lesson plans should include a clear outline of the learning objectives or goals for each student. These goals should be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. That should sound something similar to a SMART goal that we've talked about on the podcast before. Using this SMART goal framework, we are able to set clear objectives that teachers can effectively monitor the progress and tailor instruction accordingly. So these are typically the things that we're working on for those IEP goals that we've already written into the IEP. But a lot of times we have to do lesson plans for all of the different things we're covering throughout the day in addition to that. So secondly, lesson plans need to incorporate accommodations and modifications that is specific to individual needs. These could include sensory supports, visual aids, assistive technology, adaptive material, or even alternate assessments. It's crucial to consider each student's strengths, weaknesses, and learning styles to ensure an inclusive, accessible learning environment. Another essential component is a detailed instructional sequence. This outlines the specific teaching strategies, methodologies, and resources that will be used during the lesson. Special education teachers often employ differentiated instruction techniques, such as cooperative learning, small group activities, and individualized instruction. These strategies can be tailored to meet the unique needs of each student, fostering engagement and maximizing those learning outcomes. Additionally, special education lesson plans should include formative and summative assessment strategies. These assessments provide valuable feedback on students' progress to help teachers adjust instruction accordingly. Various assessments can be used. Some could include observations, checklists, rubrics, and performance-based tasks. By using multiple measures, teachers can gain a comprehensive understanding of each student's progress and make informed instructional decisions. Now that we have an understanding of what special education lesson plans include, let's talk about how to set up the lesson plan effectively. One approach is to greatly assist in the process is curriculum mapping. Curriculum mapping involves aligning lesson plans with the designated grade level or subject area standards. It helps ensure that the necessary content, skills, and concepts are covered over the course of the academic year. By mapping out curriculum, special education teachers can identify any gaps, overlaps, or even any required areas of additional focus. These process supports are a cohesive, well-rounded instructional plan. We suggest that special education teachers begin the curriculum mapping process by looking at your scope and sequence of your curriculum. Now, if we're being really honest, especially for learners that are on an alternate curriculum, we don't even have that. So where do we begin in this process? My recommendation would be to start looking at your alternate standards, or the standards that you're required to teach for the grade levels that you're going to be teaching. Pulling those standards up, even splitting your screen to have a grade level or two so that you can find like standards and matching them together so that we're working smarter, not harder on our curriculum map. If you can break it down into common themes, you're able to then teach the skill on the different levels that your learners need while still accomplishing all of the different kinds of standards and themes that need to be taught. This allows you to break down the different topics into months, and then once you have those broken down, you're then able to know what to teach each and every week or day. This way, we can address the same essential content while tailoring it to the different ability levels, learning styles, and grade levels. So if you're looking at ELA standards, you may see that there are WH questions for kindergarten, first, second, and third grade. And so while you are in circle time and you read a book aloud, you may ask your kindergartner to point to who the story is about, but your third grader may have to recall where it is taking place and who the characters are by name. And that way you're addressing that general skill of WH questions, but then you're kind of creating questions for the standards that are appropriate for the different grade levels that you have or ability levels within your classroom. If this is something that you are interested in the special education template pack, there is a curriculum map kind of template to use to help kind of break down those standards. That's exactly what I do at the beginning of the year when I have new grade levels or new standards to teach. It really helps me all year long by taking an hour or two to look at the different grade levels that I'll be teaching and breaking that down into common themes. Some themes can be reoccurring all year long, while others may need units of instruction. So when using a template, special education teachers can customize it to suit their specific needs. This includes the curriculum map and the different lesson plan templates that are included in the product. So this can suit their specific needs, including accommodations, modifications, and individualized goals. By utilizing a standardized format, teachers can save time, maintain organization, and ensure that you are providing comprehensive instruction that covers all required standards. And that brings me to my next point of finding a template that works for you and then using that template throughout the year, setting it up once with the different kinds of instruction or approaches, accommodations, and big activities that you may do. And then you're able just to plug in the different standards that you're working with, just duplicate that page, type in the goals or specific activities you may be working on for the week, and then turn those lesson plans in each and every week. Work smarter, not harder. By using templates, I've saved so much time each and every week. So I hope that breaking it down with using that curriculum map or scope and sequence, and then finding your monthly themes to create your lesson plans, I feel like has really streamlined my lesson planning development, and it's helped me know what to teach. So I hope that these tips have helped, because that brings us to the end of today's episode. So if we've explored the key components of special education lesson plans, we've discussed the importance of curriculum mapping, and we've highlighted the value of using lesson plan templates. I hope that you found this information helpful and can implement these strategies in your own teaching practices. If you need these done for you templates, make sure and check them out over in my TPT store. You can grab them and quickly put them into use and use the lesson plan templates all year long. Don't forget to check out the blog post on Cultivating Exceptional Minds to learn more about this topic. The links and everything are available in my show notes, including the special education lesson plan templates. There you can also find the templates for the curriculum map. So if you have any questions, feedback, or ideas for future episodes, make sure and connect with me on social media platforms, Cultivating Exceptional Minds on Instagram and Cultivate Exceptional Minds on TikTok. Thank you so much for taking time to join me today on Be the Exception and Special Education podcast. Until next time, keep inspiring and empowering your learners. And, just be exceptional at all that you do.